Good morning, welcome back to my channel. It's Saturday the 28th of June 2025 and it's about 9:25 in the morning. Okay, let's kick off with what's for the basket. And this week it's something quite different. It's a silicone egg boiler from Lakeland. It's like a tray that goes into the bottom of your pan. You sit your eggs in it. It has a handle that slots into the middle so you can lift it out once the eggs are boiled. Just something different. We've got a standing consultant again for the next 2 weeks because my consultant has gone on holiday again. And I just thought, put something different in the basket. Okay, put that down. Word of affirmation this week. It's 2 words actually, and it's freaking out, which is something I've been doing this week. I haven't been eating over any of it, but my brain's been on overtime because I've had difficulty sleeping with the heat, which is not at all like me. So I've been tired this week, really tired. And I'm tired today, which is crazy. Anyway, I'm off to the gym shortly. That'll waken me up because it's cold in there. Right, we'll touch on freaking out in a while. But first of all, we will start with another thing that's been affecting me this week, but it's an improvement. For a good while I've been overweight, I've had a problem that I call heavy arms. So when I'm out walking with Joe, I hook onto him on his right, my left, but my right arm is here. And when I was much heavier, I didn't particularly swing my arm and have a lot of mobility in my body. My arm just hung there. And by the end of the walk, if we'd done 15,000 steps, my arm was so heavy. But of course it was heavy because it was a big fat arm. Why do I kid myself? But what I've noticed since I've been going to the gym and pushing and pulling and lifting, whatever, my arms don't ache anymore. Now I actually can feel where I'm working on my bicep. I can feel where I'm working on my tricep. Yeah, I've still got a lot of bingo wing, and I always will have. War wounds. Bingo wings do not disappear. They may get looser, they may flap more. We may be able to fly one day. But once you've been in the situation I've been in, I believe you will always have bingo wings. And as you get older, even slim women tend to get them. It's not just a result of being overweight for many years. It's just that you lose the elasticity in your skin. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat the small stuff. If you've got bingo wings, embrace them. Wear longer sleeves if you're uncomfortable. Whatever, but don't eat over them. Okay, so my heavy arms are not so heavy anymore, but I think that's down to the fact that I've lost some weight and I'm actually trying to build strength in my arms. Right, gave Joe a bit of a list because my brain, I'm tired, I can't remember everything. Next heading, Joe.
Not eating on weigh day.
Yeah, something I think I've come across this week, somebody I was having a conversation with. Not eating on weigh day. If you weigh in at night and you freak out about the fact that if you have some lunch or if you have a cup of tea or a glass of water in this heat, you're going to weigh more, stop it. Please stop it. Something I learned from Michelle on Bean Feast 57, and if you don't watch Michelle, please go over and show her some love because she's putting up some really good videos, and I think there'll be one going up today. After an amazing weekend that she had, which really impressed me and pleased me for her, please go over and listen to what she has to say because huge learning going on there, and she's sharing it, and I think I for one need to hear it, and I probably think maybe you do too. Right, so looking at weigh day being an evening weigh-in, which mine isn't. I always choose a morning weigh-in, and evening weigh-in for me is not a good idea because I know I weigh approximately 4 pounds more at night than I do first thing in the morning. Now, even first thing in the morning, I'll have a drink before I go to group, but I do it every week, so it doesn't make any difference. I have a drink of water. It's not a big deal. I don't have my pint of tea that I would usually have, but I do have a drink of water. If you weigh in the evening and do what Michelle does, Not that she's telling us to do it, but she does it and it works. She eats the same every week before she goes. The same breakfast, the same lunch, the same drinks. She gets proper results. They're not influenced by her doing something any different. And she eats well and she drinks well and she loses well. It works. But if you're in the habit of getting up on a weigh day morning, or maybe staying in bed till lunchtime so you can avoid food if you're in a fortunate position where you can do that, and you're going without food and you're dehydrating your body to get a weight loss, then I would say you need to give your head a wobble. Because if you do that 52 weeks of the year, you're wasting 7 weeks and 3 days of your life. And we're always saying on these videos, or people always say on their videos, life gets in the way, or this is not living, or you've got to live. Well, if somebody said to you on January the 1st, we're going to wipe out 7 weeks and 3 days of your year, would you do it? I don't think so. What a waste. If you think about that, you know, do Slimming World for 5 years and think about that, you're throwing away 3/4 of a year. It's so silly. Please don't do that. All you have to do is set a pattern of what you're eating and what you're drinking on weigh day and stick to it. Otherwise, you're kidding yourself. If you can starve yourself on weigh day and dehydrate yourself, and you need to do that to get a weight loss, I'm sorry, but I think that's sad. Anyway, needed to share that because I was in conversation with somebody this week who I believe does that. And I just found myself shaking my head. Like, no. If you feel that strongly about it, find yourself a Saturday morning meeting if you work full time. Don't starve yourself. Don't dehydrate yourself. It's not good for your body. And you'll never learn to do that in the long term as a lifestyle and stick to Slimming World. Because the minute you're not going to a weigh-in anymore, or the minute you only have to weigh in once a month or once every 6 weeks, you'll just fuck it up anyway. It's not a good, consistent habit to have, in my opinion. Next heading, Joe?
Not reacting to comments shared in videos.
Oh yeah, freaking out. That was my words of affirmation, which got, I think, 16 quid for the Children's Toy Appeal this week. I'm very capable of overreacting. I'm very good at it, aren't I, Joe? I am an overreactor. And it's something I'm having to measure in myself and change, because it's always a negative thing. I don't want to be a negative person. I am generally a very positive person, but I can slip into negativity, and that's not going to help me. It doesn't make me a nice person to be around for a start, and who wants to listen to somebody who's just moaning and complaining all the time? Nobody. But what freaks me out, now I'm going to share this, and this is not a criticism of either of the channels I'm going to mention, it's talking about me and my reactions. So on Wednesday I watched Lisa and Rufus, and I love their live on a Wednesday evening. Joe's out, I can just switch it on and enjoy it. I can't get it if I watch on my phone, because I think my server's Hungarian or Czechoslovakian or something. But I can get it if I watch on Joe's iPad when he's out. Can't comment because his iPad is one of the latest ones, and I could comment on my old iPad, but that won't update anymore, so I don't know what to do. I need to do something about it, buy something I can watch on, and I'll do that in time when I find the right thing. But I was watching Lisa and Rufus, I'm waffling, I was watching Lisa and Rufus on Wednesday, and somebody in the comments, and I can't remember the lady's name, said, and this wasn't from Lisa or Rufus, this was from somebody who commented in the live chat, Slimming World are going to introduce vending machines and change the word sins. Well, my ears pricked up straight away, and I was laughing to myself because I'm thinking, what the hell would Slimming World put in a vending machine? Several flavours of Hi-Fi bars? And who the hell would bother buying them? I think the Slimming World are limited to selling all of their products only via their own company website or in Iceland. They have a contract with Iceland. That's why you can only buy Slimming World meals in Iceland. And that's why quite a few years ago, probably getting on for 10 now, Iceland was saved by Slimming World, because Iceland was struggling, and Slimming World came in and brought in this product range, and it really helped Iceland. And they work well together. So what are they going to do? Put vending machines in Iceland? Are they going to put vending machines on every street corner? Get real. Can anybody see the point? And could anybody suggest what you might put in a Slimming World vending machine? I'm sorry. I mean, I did hear Lisa ask the person who left the comment to say where they'd heard this or how they knew this. And whether the comment came back on the screen and I missed it, I don't know. But that was one. But the one that freaked me out, the comment that freaked me out, was change the word sins. Now you're going to think, oh God, here she goes, she's so opinionated. But in 1969, when Slimming World first came into being, the word was sins with an I. And it didn't work. Margaret Miles Bramwell had the wisdom to change it to sins with a Y, because it actually means this is a component that makes the whole plan into a synergy. So you've got your healthy extras, you've got your free food, you've got your free speed food, and you've got your sins. Those sins, the only other word I think could have ever been used for them is treats, because they are to enable you to still have a treat whilst working this plan. But treats is not the right word for a weight loss programme, because some of us focus on our treats far too much and would go way over the 15 of them. But sins, to make the plan, complete the circle, make it into a synergy, I think is an excellent word. Now I know a lot of problems have occurred over the years where people see this word as a negative. Well, think about it logically. As a grown-up, does it matter? If she chose that word and we choose to eat the sins, does it affect our plan? And if it is the only thing that affects our plan, then as I said to Joe earlier, take another 4-letter word and go off and find a different plan. Because at the end of the day, any word only has the power that we give it or that I give it. So to me, sins has never been a negative word. It's just a way of counting that part of my plan. And if it is a problem to you, why are you using it? I mean, I just think at the end of the day, you know, I have 15. I don't care. I don't care to call them anything. I just think of them as a number. You know, I can go up to 15 in this part of my plan. I can have 2 healthy extra A's. I can have 1 healthy extra B. But I always think at the end of the day, I had 1 of those, 2 of those, 15 of those. It's not a big deal. I mean, healthy extras, you could look at that in all sorts of ways. What's healthy? In my mind, about some of the Hex Bs that we're allowed to have or encouraged to have these days. Because some of them, these skinny bars and laden with artificial sweeteners and that, are not healthy in my book. They may be healthy in your plan, and that's good for you, but we call them healthy extras. What's in a word? Please, 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 I would implore you, if you're stuck on the word sins and it's getting in the way of you working this plan as a synergy or just as a plan, stop and think about it. That word has no power unless you give it power. Like the word fat. People say, I don't like to be called fat. People in my field say, I don't like to be called blind. But I am blind. You can call me blind. It doesn't matter. It's a word. When I'm told by the official people out there today that what I have is a visual impairment, or what I have are sight problems, or what I have are SSIs or something, because I'm seriously sight impaired. Bugger off, I'm blind. If I was seriously sight impaired, I'd be able to see something, or severely sight impaired, but you can be SI or SSI, sight impaired, or so. Everybody who needs to wear spectacles is sight impaired, or you wouldn't be wearing glasses. I don't need to wear glasses. There's nothing wrong with my eyes. It's my optic nerves that are burnt out. But by calling me blind, you're not insulting me. By calling sins, SYNS, sins, you're not insulting anybody. But I believe taking that word away when the lady who came up with it has only been dead 5 months would be a massive insult to her. It's her plan. Whether she's dead or alive, it's her plan. It will always be a plan created in 1969 by Margaret Miles Bramwell, and everybody could find a word to take offence from. We're all so big on taking offence these days. Let's just forget it and get on with our lives and get on with our weight loss. I'm sorry, but I don't see that one word as being such a huge stumbling block. Could stand for so you need something, SYNS. So have a bit of chocolate. So you need something, so have a packet of crisps. That helps you on the plan. If that's what helps you to stick to the plan, have it. You can. You have that part of the plan to enable you to have whatever you see as your treats. And the other one, and this was on Leanne's video yesterday, this freaked me out because I love my group and I love the way my group works. But when Leanne said in her group, now I don't know whether she's implying this is what's happening in her group or this is what's happening in Slimming World Company. But firstly, Leanne said that in her group they give you the total number of pounds lost and the total number of pounds gained. Now, I've been Slimming World for 49 years. I have never ever heard that before, and I've never been in a group, and I've been to groups all over the place, not just in Nottingham. I've never ever heard the total number of pounds gained spoken in group, and I think that's a very negative thing to do. But what I don't have a problem with is when we go around the room, them saying, okay, Mary lost £1 this week, clap, clap, clap. Okay, Paula lost £3 this week, clap, clap, clap. Coming to me and saying, well, Jane, are you happy with your result this week? Yeah, says Jane, I gained £0.5. And do you need any help? No, it's just one of those things. We cannot lose weight every week. I gained £0.5, I'll own it. I didn't do anything different on plan, but it happens. Right, fine. Sure you don't need any help? No, move on. What's embarrassing or degrading about that? I have never ever sat in a group where they've said, oh my God, Arthur, you've gained £5 this week and you haven't even been on holiday, you fat pig. That doesn't happen, right? We don't make a big deal about weight gains. We never, in our groups around here, and I'm thinking about 5 groups that I've been a part of, we never actually say, oh my God, Jane, you've gained £5 this week. We would say, are you happy with your result this week? How do you feel about your result this week? Are you comfortable with your result this week? We never highlight people's weight gains. And I'm very surprised if other meetings do that. But Leanne touched on the fact that they're not going to go around the room and talk about who's done what and whatever. They're going to free up more time for actually talking and giving advice and opinions. How do I feel about that? Well, I hope it's just Leanne's group that's doing it and I hope it works for them. Because if that happened in my group and they just freed up more time for it to be a social chat, then I'd go and join a knitting bee. That's not what I'm there for. I'm there for my journey, my weight loss journey. They can say out loud what I've done this week, and that's the only thing that affects me in my journey. What Tom, Dick or Harriet did does not affect my journey. I'm prepared to encourage them, I'm prepared to applaud them, whatever. But what they do doesn't affect my journey. I am there for me, and that's not because I'm a selfish person, because I'm not. It's because all I can share and all I can encourage other people with is what I've done this week. I have no problem sharing that. But if we're just going to turn into a chat place, then I'd just go and get weighed and leave, because I don't need that. That's not a part of Slimming World that I think is vital. Image therapy is important because somebody can say, yeah, I have had a gain this week and I really struggled, couldn't get my head around the plan, really emotionally ate, can anybody help me? There'll be loads of people in that room who can help them. So I don't want a knitting bee or a chat place or a coffee morning. I want a place that talks about weight loss. But if you're going to talk about weight loss in reality, you also have to acknowledge weight gain, because none of us are going to lose weight every week. It's impossible. It's impossible. And that's not about being good or bad, and that's not about being perfect or imperfect. It's about real life. If you want to live this lifestyle, and I'm not talking about being on or off this diet, I'm talking about living this lifestyle, then you're going to have to accept that there will be times when you have a result that doesn't line up with the way you had your week. Loads of times we watch videos and people will say, oh, I went, or we listen in group, people will say, oh, I went out 4 times this week and I drank this and I did that and whatever, and they get on the scales and they've lost 1 pound or 1.5 pounds, and they're like, oh, dodge the bullet. Well, you didn't dodge the bullet. You just didn't enjoy your week. None of us dodge a bullet. Nobody's going to bloody shoot us if we don't do it perfectly. So what? So what? You went out for 3 meals. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good time. That's living. But don't think of it as dodging bullets and being punished. It's not. Just get back on plan, work it to the best of your ability, and hopefully you'll get a fairer result next week. But then who says it's not fair to lose weight while you're off plan? We all have... It's experience we've all had. Don't be negative about these things. This is a positive lifestyle. Don't switch on the negativity, the positivity, the negative. I'm on plan, I'm off plan. Just own what you do, enjoy what you do, get on with it. Negativity does not help anybody. In group, when you're sitting there and you're going, in group, that's not helping anybody. But if my group stopped going round and talking about weight loss and acknowledging if I've had a bad week, that's that. If I've had a good week, that's that. Nobody is put down for having a gain. My consultant says all the time, there is no shame in a gain. No shame. We're not shaming anybody. That's not what Slimming World is about. But those things got in my head this week, only from yesterday and Wednesday, but got in my head and had me thinking, what will I do? What will I do? Panic. What am I going to do? I'm going to continue working this plan. And if group doesn't work for me in the way I need it to work for me, then I'll get on my bike and I'll find a better group. No way am I ever sitting in a group that talks crap. Our group's brilliant for encouraging each other, and we never, ever, ever shame anybody. And whether somebody's lost £3, somebody's gained ½ pound, somebody's lost £7, somebody's gained £4, doesn't matter, because you know why? It's not a competition.
You're at 23 minutes.
Right? I never want to win Slimmer of the Week, Slimmer of the Month. Those things don't matter to me. If I get a certificate, I dump it. I don't even keep the certificates. It doesn't matter. Right, so what did I do this week and last week? Because I forgot to say last week until Irene reminded me. I gained ½ pound last week, which was only, I think, my 4th gain in 57 weeks. And this week I lost £1 pound. Now, I said I wanted to lose 1.5 pounds in June. I actually lost 3. How can I complain about that? I'm happy. I'm working the plan. I'm living the lifestyle. None of it. Cheers for now. See you next week.